Hey guys, I'm going to do a video today, a makeup tutorial on this Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, and this is Armed and Gorgeous. So I've already prepped my face with Image Skincare Mattifying Moisturizer, and then I'm going to start off with my eyebrows because I always do that first. If you've seen in my previous videos, that is the first thing I start with is my eyes. Just in case there's dropout with eyeshadow, which usually happens when I do my makeup. So I'm going to start off with the Tarte Taupe and use my eyeliner brush, which is actually an eyebrow brush. It came with this dip pot. And I'm going to start at the bottom. Kind of shade in. Now I have like a kind of like a bald spot like right in here, so I just kind of go up with it, drawing in some hairs. Upward motion. As you can see, I do have some areas where the hair just doesn't grow. So shading in my eyebrows is big for me. It's a must. And then I'm going to use a base for my eyeshadow, and it is the Double Duty Beauty Tarte excuse me, Shape Tape Concealer. And I'm using light neutral, and I take this and I put it on my hand just to kind of get it warm. And then I use a concealer brush to apply it all over my eye. And this is all going to be cleaned up afterwards, so I'm just going out. Get a smooth application. Now I'm gonna use a color to put all over my eyes to kind of set this in place. I built this NARS palette, and I'm going to use, let's see, by Ritz. It's almost gone. Use it every day, so it goes pretty quick. And I am using the Balm is the brand, and it is a double-sided brush. It has a flat side and then a blending side. It is my favorite brush. So I'm just sealing the base with this powder, so it gives it a good foundation to keep the shadow on. So there's no creases or oily areas, and it honestly, it just makes all the eyeshadow, it seals the creamy part in place, so I can get a good even application when I'm applying the eyeshadow. Smooth. Sometimes my line's a little jacked up here, so kind of shade it in. Okay, now I'm going to start with the Morphe palette. And I like to build colors, so I'm going to start off with using this color. It's called Agent. And this is kind of going to give it like a sunset feel. And I always start, well, I can't say always, but most of the time I start from the corner of my eye and then work my way in. Really shading that in. And I like there to be a lot of product here on the corner to give it more of a sultry look. And then just blending it in. Now, as I've said in the other 2 videos that I've made, I really love gold. So I'm going to add some gold to this just to kind of give it pop. And I'm going to use more of a flat brush. This one's by Arbonne. It says it's for shading. It's kind of flat. Get some of the product off of there. And I'm going to go in with Coin, this color. Okay, now I'm going to start packing on some real color. So I'm going to go one up from Agent, which is the Cure. Notice how I'm starting like in the ditch of the eye, the crease, and really packing the color and then kind of bringing it up a little bit to kind of blend this color with this color. Okay, now I'm gonna move over to Smooth Criminal. I'm starting on the lash line and then the corner, and then just going to bring it in. See the difference? I like to raise my eyebrows just because I really want to get in the crease, and so I'll have no blank spots. Now I'm going to take a darker color called Prowl and work it into that corner of the eye again. Just going with a little more drama. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and wipe it off with a tissue. It's got a lot of dark on there. And then I'm going to come back with Agent, which is this color, and kind of blend out some of the corners. So I don't have any harsh lines. And then I'm going to come in with a peachy color to kind of bring all of this together so it has a smooth transition, like gradient color up. And I'm going to go back to my NARS palette and use this color. It's called Night Star. It's one of my favorites. It's like a peachy with shimmer in it. And it just kind of blends all of that together up to my brow bone. And then there's this color called VIP, and I'm going to put that up to the arch. Give it a little pop. And I'm gonna take my eyebrow brush because I got a little bit of shadow on my eyebrow. Just gonna shade that in. Okay, now I'm going to take this MAC 266 eyeliner brush, and I'm gonna go back into my Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to go with the darkest color, which is Prowl, and I'm going to line my eyes with it. If you want a little more like definition, wet it. I wet it with my spit because it's mine. It does not bother me. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing that with clients, but. So I'm starting with the corner of my eye, slanting the brush, and really focusing on getting it on that lash line so I don't have any hollow spots. And I'm constantly moving it back and forth, as you can tell, because when I come over here, I start with the tip over, pointed towards the corner, going in, and then I flip it to go this way, to connect them. Making sure that's even. Okay, and now I'm going to clean up. See how much dropout I have underneath my eyes? If you're doing your foundation first and then putting on your eye makeup, unless you were like, unless you were like a professional at not getting dropout, because some of these eyeshadows are very powdery and they drop down. So I use this, the Burt's Bees grapefruit towelettes facial cleansers. Grapefruit is my favorite, so, and they're cheap, and I clean up underneath. So if you ladies are doing your foundation first and you get a lot of dropout, it's gonna look like you have, dependent on your color that you're using on your eyes, it's gonna look like you have black eyes, and I don't want that. So I always start with the eyes first. And you don't want to, like, if you're doing this, you don't want to go too far up with your cleaning. You want to kind of go right across to elongate your eyes. Just kind of follow your lash line over. Now, typically, you know, you're wiping off your moisturizer when you do this. So I'm gonna use this Eminence Cucumber Eye Gel and just kind of put a little bit underneath. A little bit goes a long way. Just so I'm somewhat moisturized underneath my eyes. And it's not too greasy, which I love. Coffee break. Okay. And now I'm going to curl my eyelashes and put my mascara on. Sometimes they tend to stick together when I'm doing eyeshadow. Okay. And I would recommend going as close as you can to your lash line to where this metal part right here, or right here, sits on top. That'll keep it from looking very bent. And I've been using Babe Lash and my eyelashes are freaking wild and they're growing like crazy. And this is the Babe Lash. And I put this on at night and I actually use it on my eyebrows too because I would like them to grow in. Sorry, I have allergies. But yeah, they grow like wild. And so since I've started using the Babe Lash, I've had to use the eyelash curler because they're so heavy now. So yeah. And the mascara I use is L'Oreal Telescopic. It's like $10 at the grocery store. I've been using this for over a decade and I absolutely love it. I kind of switch back and forth from the black tube and then the gold tube. Right now I'm loving the gold. I feel like with the black tube, I have to apply more. I feel like I'm constantly doing, you know, adding more layers of mascara. And with the gold tube, I don't really have to do as much. And I still get a good separation. Because the bristles are, I don't know if you can, it's too close. They're rubber and they're tiny. So it gives it a lot of separation. Now, if you have super long eyelashes or you accidentally get mascara on your eyelid, just grab a little Q-tip if you can get it pretty quickly. Grab a Q-tip and you can swipe it. It'll come right off if it's still pretty wet. If it's not really wet, you can blend it out with some eyeshadow. This is the problem eye this week. It's doing something weird. As good as it's gonna get today. So I've been using this primer. It's a pore primer. I have quite large pores, and this kind of just like blurs it out. It looks like this. It's like a flesh color. Warm it up, emulsify it in my palms, and just kind of apply it all over. A mascara dot, I can see it. Oh, and this is made by Benefit. And then next I'm going to use this Lancome, and my color is 335 BISC. I think it's Bisque C. And I'm gonna put one drop on my hand. I'm gonna use my concealer brush. And the reason I put it on my hand is because it warms it up. And I'm going to define my eyebrows. You don't need a lot. If you do it too wet around here, it's gonna be thick. So this is just a definition on the eyebrows. If you mess up, you can come back in with your eyebrow brush. And I like to blur out some of that concealer that I put as a base for my shadow. And then I take the excess and apply it to my forehead in a circular motion. Blending it out and down. And then I'm going to take 2 more squirts and apply it with my middle fingers in a circular motion. You don't really need it too close to your eyes because you'll be putting concealer there anyways. I always do my foundation first because there's no point in doing concealer and then putting your foundation on because you'll be rubbing your concealer off and therefore it's doing nothing for your eyes. I bring this down a little bit. Typically everyone's face and neck are lighter than the rest of their body. And to blend this, I will show you in a minute. Okay, so then I'm going to, I use the Shape Tape Concealer in medium. If I can open this. My hands are so greasy. I think I use medium sand for this. Just kidding. Medium sand is the color. And it's the Shape Tape Concealer. Just give a few swipes. Just kind of blend that down. I don't get too close to my eye because I'm going to blur that anyways with a beauty blender. I'm gonna take my beauty blender. Usually people get it wet, I don't because I'm lazy. And I'm just gonna kind of blend it. This kind of blends those two colors together instead of having any kind of harsh lines from using your foundation and your eyeshadow base. You just want to blend all those lines out. See the difference? Well, obviously. Sorry, I keep sniffling. I am super like allergy ridden in the mornings. Snotty. Coffee break. Okay. After you do your concealer, you want to set it. If you don't set it, it's going to be wet and then it's going to collect in your fine lines and wrinkles and it's going to look gross. So I'm going to use this Frida Kahlo brush that Christina Martinez got me for Christmas. And I'm using, it's made by Lancome. It's a translucent powder and it's called Long Time No Shine. I put some in here. And I'm going to start on the bottom and work my way up. So I'm not collecting too much powder up near my eye. And I'm going to seal all this and it kind of just blends that in right there. You always want to seal your foundations. And this isn't isn't going to be cakey because it doesn't have a lot. It's just a translucent powder. So my foundation is full coverage and I just don't want to look cakey, so I don't use a colored powder. Start from your forehead. This is just sealing it in so it stays put. Okay, now on to contour. I'm using Smashbox, the Cali Contour. And I'm going to start off with a little bit of highlighter. And this is called Shimmer Highlight. It's this one. It's just going to add a little bit of glow put a little bit on my nose, my Cupid's bow, chin. And then I'm sorry, I used the MAC 137 brush. And now I'm going to switch brushes for the contour, and this is 168. It's an angled brush. I'm going to go back to this and use contour. That's what it's called. It helps me to do this because then I can see where I should be starting. I don't know if y'all can hear in the video the birds outside. I love it. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with a shimmer bronze highlight right here and just kind of apply that as well. I love anything that shimmers. And I'm gonna kind of start to contour my forehead a little bit. It's a little bit larger than most. And this just kind of brings it down a bit. And I go in my hairline so it doesn't look like I have two different colors. It'll look more seamless. And I'm going to put some blush on the apples of my cheek. This is called matte blush. I'm gonna add some mascara to my bottom lashes. Doesn't need much. And I like to add a little bit of gold in the corner. So I'm gonna go back to my Jaclyn Hill palette and go to the coin that I used earlier. Find my brush, there it is. And I'm just gonna add a little bit underneath. Blending that together. You see it just kind of opens up the eyes, brightens the eyes. I'm going to take this off my lips. I don't use a setting spray typically, and my makeup stays on all day. Now with my clients, I use a setting spray. Let me go grab some lipstick real quick. So this is one of my favorite colors. It's made by NYX. I think it's discontinued actually, but it's my favorite. It's Intense Butter Gloss and it's Tres Leches. Okay, so this is the final look.